Waffle, waffle, waffle.
Hello there and welcome to Die Rollin. I'm the ever excitable Adam, and you'll join me here for a Wednesday waffle to talk about the UK Games Expo. The UK Games Expo is my favourite event of the year. I have not been for 4 years, I think now. It's been a long time since I've been there. Mainly just due to various different commitments I had kind of got that had to be on that particular weekend. But this year, barring some form of medical emergency or, act of God, I will be there. And if I don't make it there, then at least this video will exist and you can see me excited about going to something that's just around the corner from me, which is one of the highlights of my year. Before we get into that, normally on my Wednesday Waffles, I talk about a few things. I talk about what I've been painting. That'll be easy. I've been painting nothing. Nada. Nothing's been painted. The last thing I painted was some Shikari Nomads for a game of Shadows of Brimstone, which I'll be getting to the table next Wednesday. It's gonna be fun. I also think, guys, I'll be doing a live Wednesday Waffle next Wednesday because I will be really excited about about everything. So if you join me here at 5 p.m. Regular time, then you'll be able to maybe comment and we'll discuss some games I've got maybe. But yeah, so nothing painting. But what have I played? Well, I managed to get a game of Nemesis in. Man alive, I love that game. I actually got 2 games of Nemesis in. One with my wife because I needed some refreshment of how to play the game, and another with the people I was teaching it to. Now, I say teaching it to, one of the people playing it had played it again, but owns the game, has played it a couple of times. But I always find with Nemesis, I've played this, I don't know how many times now. I haven't tracked everything in my board game app, which has all the statistics. But I played it double digits, 20 plus times at this point, I think. And I'll be honest, the first 8 to 10 times I was playing it incorrectly. I think I now have it down through repetition, through watching gameplay videos, rereading the rules. So we were able to play that, and I'm pretty certain we played it all correctly. Nemesis, one of my favorite games, just so thematic, so lovely. And because they enjoyed it so much, the next game we're playing is going to be Nemesis Lockdown, the sequel. So I'll let you know how that goes. I also played Fiasco with my kids, and they absolutely loved it. We had a fantastic time. It was a silly story. Everyone was laughing. Now, with Fiasco, it's worth noting some of the cards are inappropriate for younger children. So I removed those before we started playing. But we had a fantasy-themed adventure story, and it was just bananas. Really, really fun. Had a great time playing that. So that's what I've been playing. I also played Western Legends recently as well, which chef's kiss, and I'm very excited about seeing the Western Legends stories. I think there is some more details about that online, but I've not looked at it because I can't really afford to get any more games at this point. So I'm kind of avoiding it and hoping I'll pick it up at a later date at some point. It'll come to retail, right? Right. So that's everything I've been playing. Role-playing game-wise, I've been looking into Brindlewood Bay. I've been looking back over Eat the Reich, and part of me is tempted to see about running a role-playing game, maybe at the Expo. They're still looking for people, I think. I might contact them, see what's going on, but I might try and run something at the Expo. Never done anything like that before, but I find that the open gaming after a certain point, kind of, unless you've got people reserving your tables, it just goes. So that's what I've been playing as of late. So let's go to the meat and potatoes. We'll be talking about the UK Games Expo. Now, what is fantastic about this is the biggest board gaming event, as far as I'm aware, in the UK, and it's coming right to the NEC. It's huge. It's massive, and I've had to write a list of things to kind of prompt me to make sure I'm covering everything I want to cover for this waffle. Normally with waffles, there's no prep. I just basically go off on one. But I have made some notes because there's certain games that I'm excited to see, and I'm still going through the list of games. So what is the UK Games Expo. This is basically a trade show where you go to the NEC. They've got 3, I think, halls, huge halls full of board games, role-playing games, geek merchandise, nerdy accessories. You've got role-playing journals, you've got role-playing books you can buy, you've got board games, you've got card games, you've got clothing, cosplay, props, mead, food, drink, everything your little heart could really want. An all-in-one handy location, accessible quite easily by train, and you can park in the car parks or park in secret spots if you know the area a bit better. It's a place to go play the latest games. So if you know there's a game coming out at Kickstarter and you'd love to play it before actually, putting £90 plus into something that you've never played before, then this is great. You get to go meet the designers, meet the people who've actually made the game, and they can teach you how to play it, show you, maybe even if it's just a round, they can show you a round of the game and you get an idea of, oh yeah, maybe this is for me, or maybe it's not for me. So seeing the latest games is great. Actually sitting down and playing the latest games is even better. And what is the perfection is sitting down with the actual people who designed the game, because they can really teach you how to play it properly rather than, your interpretation of a rule set. You can also buy maybe some of the latest games or some games from years ago. There are stores everywhere where you can just go up, represented by, people like Chaos Cards, who probably one of my favorite kind of retailers out there. Basically, they have decent prices and really good stock. Zatu Games will be there as well, which one of the larger kind of companies as well. Wayland Games, I imagine, will be there. Just trying to think of other ones. Just basically, if you've ordered a board game online, chances are someone from that place will be representing themselves there, and you can pick up normally a bargain or normally a bit cheaper than you would on their online stores. You can also find some rarer things that maybe you wouldn't normally see. I know there's been several times I've gone to one of those stores and the person in front of me has spotted the same thing I have, and they've just picked it up seconds before I've got in there, or vice versa. You can find Shadows of Brimstone, for instance. I'm always looking for more Shadows of Brimstone stuff. That is a game that there is no end to collecting, and you can often find good deals on some of the bigger boxes in there, or you can find damaged kind of boxes, which the contents are fine, and they're normally at a reduced price. So if you're looking for Shadow stuff and you're going to the UK Games Expo, then yeah, look out for that. Or maybe don't, because then I won't be able to get them. I don't know. So like I said, you can buy like role-playing games there as well. You can actually meet the people who've made them. Maybe they could demo some of it for you. I don't know. So yeah, buying stuff, trying stuff, meeting people. So the 2 main things I love about this place is playing board games and meeting people. Meeting people is fantastic because it's not just random strangers. They could be people you've been talking to online. They could be people that you're in the same kind of forums as. Maybe they're people you've played online with on Board Game Arena or otherwise. They could be the designers of your favorite game. They could be, really enthusiastic up and comers, and you could like meet them, and who knows, maybe they're making the next Gloomhaven or something, and you were there from the very beginning. You met them, and you're on good terms with them. So yeah, you get to meet those kind of people. You get to meet your favorite content creators as well. So if I'm one of your favorite content creators, then you could meet me there and say hi and get a crisp high five off me, or some form of non-COVID transmitting thing. So you meet content creators. You can meet all the kind of minor celebrities out there who are involved in the board gaming community. Well, I don't include myself in minor celebrities. I mean like people who are proper, do it as a living. So you can see those kind of people there as well, just walking around like regular people. What else can you find? Gamers. You can find other gamers who, I mentioned at the very beginning of this bit, but the other gamers that you meet, they might be people who you've never met before. You can sit down at a table with a bunch of people playing a random game and come away friends. It's fantastic. So there's also going to be role-playing games and events on. The events, you need to get up there pretty quick. The website, by the way, is fantastic. But yeah, you can go on there. There might be slots for role-playing games. I think you have to pay for these, a couple of quid or something. And there are events as well. Like Friday's got a Star Wars Unlimited full day of kind of, events and stuff. But yeah, loads of events throughout. So yeah, you can book those online. I went to a couple of events previously and I really enjoyed them. They're quite fun. There is, talking about buying, there is a bring and buy. The bring and buy is humongous. There is normally a massive queue for it. And a lot of people have to queue up and kind of drop their board games off. It's a good place to go if you've got like an hour to kill, because the queues can be, like I say, ridiculous. But yeah, you might find that grail game you're looking for. There might be that one game no one else has that you're really looking for. In my case, Arceus. I'd love to get Arceus. It's a kind of Egyptian-themed dungeon crawler. Love to get it. But yeah, you can't really buy it in the UK. Hopefully they're going to release it at some point to retail. But until then, I've got to pray it's in the secondhand market or someone has a copy and it's not a ridiculous price. But yeah, the bring and buy is pretty good to go to because you might find like that game you've always looked for, maybe a game from your childhood that you forgot existed, or maybe some expansions you've always wanted to get, or that game that everyone loves or you played once and you're like, oh, I can't seem to pick this up anywhere. It'll be in the bring and buy. So it's a pretty good place to go. But like I say, it takes a while to go around there and it's pretty crowded and there's a big queue. So be expecting to wait around for a while. You might get hungry. I would advise that you bring along a bottle of water with you because it gets hot in those halls. Food-wise, there are food trucks that are outside the Hilton, which is attached, which are delicious. They're very good. Obviously, try and time going there because it's going to be absolutely rammed. But yeah, there's also other kind of little food places around you can go to. But yeah, there's a Wetherspoons in there as well. So lots of different options there at the NEC. You can immerse yourself in nerdom. So my little kind of notes essay just says immerse yourself in nerdom. Now the thing is that when I first went to UK Games Expo, I was on my own and I was very anxious and nervous. Now I'm quite an extrovert guy. I can talk to anybody really, and I often do. But yeah, for my first time in the Expo, I was pretty nervous about going there. I don't think I played any games. I just kind of like wandered around, and then after, I don't know, a couple of hours, I just left. But it just was a lot to process, a lot to take in. However, going in now, there's a beautiful feeling of kinship and belonging. I really do feel that I'm with my people. They're people who I can talk to about board games until we're blue in the face. Normally not something I can do. Yeah, it's just great to be in a location with a bunch of people, like so many people who have the same kind of interests as you. So yeah, so I'd highly recommend you just embrace the nerdom, go and talk to that content creator that you really enjoy their videos, or that designer you absolutely love. Go and speak to people who made your favorite games. Tell them how much fun you're having with them, how much your children enjoy those games. Yeah, if you see anybody, just go and talk to them. There's probably nothing bad's going to happen. I'm going to say probably because who knows, but they might be having a bad day. But generally, people are just, will be glad to talk to you, and it's a very welcoming community, I have found. There are Vikings outside as well. Do not be perturbed when you turn up and there is a Viking village outside. They're there every year. They do reenactment and stuff. So yeah, I've never really, I've been the whole time, so I never really venture out and speak to the Vikings or know too much about that. But there is a Viking village. If you have younger children, they might be really interested in that. Or hey, not even younger children, maybe you're really interested in Viking stuff. Go along. There is also a really nice lake outside. So if the weather's okay, then you can kind of chill out there and just have a nice little kind of moment to yourself. It can be a bit, you can get a bit overstimulated in those halls. So yeah, having somewhere you can go and just kind of chill out is a good idea. So the lake's a good place to go. There is also a Resorts World nearby that has a Five Guys. So if you are looking for some tasty food, I would say that's a good place to go. What else is there? I don't think there's anything else about it I really need to say. I think you get the general idea of what a convention is. And just, yeah, make sure you're well hydrated, you've put some deodorant on before you go there, and that you talk to people and have a good time. Before the halls open, I will be out the front, probably with a game of Happy Salmon. So if anybody wants to join in with a game of Happy Salmon, just come and find me and say, hey, have you got Happy Salmon? And we'll get out and we'll see if we can get a couple of people just to play whilst we're all waiting in that large queue. It's going to be myself and Alex there this year. So yeah, the Thursday, Friday and Saturday. The Thursday is just for press night, but if you're there picking up tickets and you see anybody, once again, just say hi to everyone. It's fun. And Thursday also has open gaming as well, so you can just kind of like go along and play some games. I'm going to be in there after the press evening, so I'll be bringing along a bunch of games like Fiasco, The Score, some other larger player count games as well, but not any of the big box games that I brought to Aircon, because I kind of feel like, well, you don't really need to have that there. People will have them. So yeah, that's it. There's also a gaming library there as well, where you can rent kind of games out. So if you don't have any games, you can just kind of rent those things out. There is a big gaming area, so you can just sit down and play the new games you bought, all the games from the gaming library. Yeah, there's probably a ton of other things which more kind of prepared content creators would be able to give you, but that's my rundown. Like I say, I've not been in a couple of years, so it could be completely different. Hopefully it won't be. So anyway, I've got a couple of places that I am going to check out, and I'm just going to kind of rattle through these and tell you some things I'm really excited to go to, and also their stall numbers. I've written down their stall numbers. One of them, I don't know their stall number, but if I do know, and I'm editing this well, although I won't have very long to edit this, I'll try and put all the stall numbers below in the comments so you can check these out, and maybe some links. We'll see. So let's start off in no particular order. Oh, wait, the website. Please check out the website. If you are looking for particular games, they have a list of all the new games that are going to be there. So if you are wondering whether that new game that's coming out is going to be there, go to their website. You can find a new game section. You can click on that. It's so helpful. It gives you a list of all the new games coming out that you can try, you can play, you can buy there, you can filter it down to those different things. You can click into the games, and most of them have a really good description of what that game is. And also they tell you where to find them. So if you are, unlike me, someone who really likes to plan out their trip, I just turn up and just wander from the entrance all the way around until I get back to the entrance again. Then I go to the next hall and so forth. But yeah, if you like to plan your visit out, it's a great tool to just go to the website, find all those things out. So with that in mind, we're going to start off with Intrepid Games. They are making a game called Lander After the Crash, I think it's called. And this is a game that came out previously on crowdfunding. It didn't manage to hit its target. But I remember going along with my family. When I went last, it was there. And it really impressed. I didn't play it, but the other guys were really impressed with it. It's essentially a space kind of themed strategy game. You're trying to survive after you've crash landed on a planet. You're playing different corporations and you're vying for kind of victory points and stuff. It's got some really nice components with it, like triangle kind of tiles. Lovely components, resource management in there. It just looks great fun. And I'm fairly certain all the photos of the people on the cards were like just people that volunteered to have their photos taken. So yeah, there'll be lots of fun kind of artwork and stuff in the game, and yeah, real people, which is great. So they're going to be at 1631. So next, we're going to talk about Trouble on the Tempus. So this is a new game that's coming out. It's going to be the exclusively kind of revealed at the UK Games Expo. This is a game where you're on a spaceship. It's a co-op game, and you're trying to kind of fix the hyperdrive and survive. Just kind of like thinking about that, it makes me think of Nemesis straight away. It makes me think of SSO or Pandora Celeste. But I kind of feel like, or maybe even Intrepid. But I feel like those kind of games, they're all their own entities. There's some similarities between them, but they're always really interesting, and I'm always interested to see how they play and what kind of what new things they bring to the table. It looks like a really fun game. So yeah, we'll be there. It's Christian's Brain, I think is the name of the company. They're going to be at 2799A. And yeah, that looks like it'll be a good laugh with a couple of mates, so check that out. Next, we're going to try Skellion Games. They made a game called The Thin Veil. They've currently got a game called Cormac, which is a dungeon crawler set in medieval Ireland, or if you've ever been to Ireland, Cork. The idea of this game is it's like a dungeon crawler set in a kind of mystical fey realm. And yeah, it's a solo game, but it has, I believe, unlocked 2 players. And there's a couple of expansion you get on there as well. There's a boss battler mode, and there's also, I think there's like a kind of solo mode where you play as one of the villains from the story. But yeah, I'm a fan of narrative campaigns, or just generally dungeon crawlers, especially kind of solo ones, because it's normally me playing them. So when you've got a solo kind of game, or like one that opens to 2 players, it's pretty good because you don't have as many rules to worry about or as much kind of going on. So yeah, they're at 21003. Next, we can talk about Maladum. So Maladum by Battle Systems. Battle Systems made Core Space, which I really enjoy Core Space. It's very fun. And we've actually got a video of Core Space on the kind of channel. If you'd like to check that out, feel free. It's one of the custom scenarios you can get on the website. Maladum is a fantasy game, which is using the Core Space kind of idea of like 3D terrain, and nice neoprene mat and some dashboards and all that lovely stuff. I think there's a narrative campaign in there. It just has such great table presence, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it at the Expo. And I think you can play the game. I think you can. Normally when I've seen them, they've just got their lovely terrain set up, but I think this time you can sit down and play. That would be so cool. So if I can sit down and play a game of Maladum, I definitely will, because I backed that. So that's going to be coming to the channel at some point, and sitting down and playing with the actual developers themselves is always fantastic. Next is War of the Worlds, One More Day. We've already spoke about that. Sorry, Battle Systems are 11042. War of the Worlds, One More Day, we saw that at AirCon. The guys really enjoyed it. I didn't get a chance to play it, so hopefully I'll be able to sit down and play it this year, because War of the Worlds is such a great setting. This is a narrative solo/cooperative game where you're just trying to survive for one more day. That's at 1191. Next, stuff by Bez. It would not be the Expo if Bez didn't have some form of presence there. Bez makes some fantastic games. Highly recommend going there. You can't miss Bez. It's all red. Everything is red near there. They have some really fun, simple games that you can play with strangers, play with children, play with your friends, play with whoever. But every time I go there, I sit down, learn a couple of new games from Bez, and just have a fantastic time. And there's always like there's normally a competition to win all of the games I've ever made. But yeah, I don't know if that's on this year, but definitely swing by, check it out. It's, yeah, fantastic fun. Mantic are going to be there. Sorry, Bez will be at 1T11. Mantic, the guys behind Dungeon Saga Origins and the new Halo Flashpoint miniatures game, they're going to be there as well. They're at 1T83. Now, this one is going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the guys who are behind the game. Just talk to them for a bit about the game, and just, yeah, thank them for the review copy again, and just generally have a nice chat with them. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing if there's any games of Halo I can give a go of. So yeah, Mantic, 1T83, well worth a go. Everything Epic are going to be there. Those are the guys who did Secrets of the Lost Tomb, which you can see some videos, well, a video of that on the channel. Everything Epic makes some really fantastic games. And Secrets of the Lost Tomb, they did a 2nd edition crowdfunding not too long back. Whether they're going to have any copies of that to play, I don't know. But if they do, I'm definitely going to try and sit down and play that. And Alex is going to love that as well. So yeah, definitely sit down with that. So that's 1313. Next, Dina Said So Studios. Now, Dina represents a ton of different kind of designers and kind of customers and stuff. Customers? Publishers. Loads of different places. Anyway, so yeah, I can't remember where they're going to be, but they have some really fun games, very lovely people to talk to, and they will happily sit down with you, teach you some games, and yeah, you'll find some games you've probably not heard of before. Maybe you saw on the Kickstarter and you're like, oh wait, I really wanted to look at that or something. But yeah, definitely find out where Dina Said So Studios. Well, lovely group of people, and they got some great games. Next, Free League. So, Alien RPG is probably my favorite role-playing game of all time. They do Free League, the best guys in the business as far as I'm concerned. They bring out quality kind of components, quality rules, games, just everything. The Alien role-playing game, Blade Runner, Coriolis, Tales from the Loop, Forbidden Lands. The list goes on. They just keep doing hit after hit. The One Ring, The Walking Dead, all these games, fantastic games you can check out at their kind of stall. And it's just, I highly recommend it. If you've never played the Alien role-playing game, you have any kind of interest in Alien, go pick up a copy, get a starter set. That's all you need. It's just great fun. But yeah, definitely check out Free League 1538. Next, we're going to talk Rebellion Unplugged. Rebellion Unplugged, they did the Sniper Elite game, which is so much fun. Will and I had a blast playing it on the channel, even though he cheated. And they also did a game called Joyride that we played at AirCon last year. And that one was so much fun. You were just driving around, trying not to destroy your car. It is great fun. Played it with the designers. It's just fantastic. So hopefully we'll be going on and playing that again and seeing what kind of changes they've done. Maybe there's a full version you can pick up. But yeah, Joyride was fantastic. I highly recommend going and check that out. It was just really fun. So they're at 1 T90. 1 T90. Next, Alley Cat Games. So these are the guys behind Dice Hospital, Dice Theme Park, a ton of other kind of really fun games. They're at 1714. The reason I'm interested in going over there is I've not played Dice Theme Park, I'd like to give that a go. And also they've got Fate Flip Washed Ashore, which is kind of like a solo narrative game that looks really fun. I love games where you're shipwrecked, and it just sounds delightful. Hopefully we'll get a copy of that on the channel to actually play through and show you what that's like. But yeah, I'm just going to make a beeline for those guys because, yeah, it sounds fantastic. Speaking of sounding fantastic, Chaosium, the guys behind Call of Cthulhu, 1735. They have got Horror on the Orient Express. This is a new board game that I think is either still funding or has funded. You are essentially trying to. It's a social deduction game, but you're also on a trying to stop cultists and Gribblies from getting on board this train. It just looks so cool. I've not played any of the Fantasy Flight kind of Unfathomable kind of line. I've not played any of that. But this seems similar in some ways, but also seems very involved at the same time. So I don't know a ton about it, except it looks amazing, and I'm going to try and get a demo of that because it just looks great. Next, Paper Fort Games. Chaosium are 1735. Paper Fort Games 1774. They are the guys behind Terraria, I believe. Terraria is essentially like a Minecraft style game, but 2D that's been out for a while now. And yeah, I'm just interested to see what they've done with it. Leader Games are going to be there with their latest game. They did Root, amongst many other games. They always have really interesting kind of mechanics. And the games, though, I find are like, they're either black and white. You either love them or hate them. There's no in between with them. And they've got a new one called Arcs, which I think is about spaceships. So they're at 1802. We're going to go there. Next, 1862 has addax. Now, they're making a game called Rove, and what's interesting about this one is it looks very similar to Gloomhaven. I'm pretty certain it's the same artist, and it's just another fantasy kind of adventure game, and I absolutely love them. So, of course, more please. That's my list of things at the moment, but I didn't mention Black Letter Games are going to be there. They did Damnation the Gothic game. Such a fun game, and they've got a new game coming out which is about the gunpowder plot, which I played a few times. Really fun game, and I believe the Offline Gamer, that was one of their favorite games they played as of late. So another recommendation there to find Black Leather Games. And also Raybox Games. I am going to be doing a review for Escape from Stalingrad Z or Z, depending on where you come from. Now the thing with I did do some gameplay of it, but I lost some of the footage. And I've just started playing it on my own and just going through there. And I've got about, I don't know, 14, 15 scenarios in. And it's really tough. I've had to repeat a ton of scenarios. It's great fun though. So Raybox Games, they're going to be there. The Escape from Stalingrad game is a fantastic game where you are essentially caught in war-torn Stalingrad, and there are zombies everywhere. It's the apocalypse, essentially. You are trying to escape, and you are kind of encountering zombies, you are encountering survivors, you got some choices to make. I'll go into a lot more detail in the actual review, but suffice to say, it's well worth checking out. It is such a lovely kind of game. The game itself, I actually have out, and it kind of comes in a couple of different formats. One of them is the deluxe version, which comes in a nice box, but the basic version is just this, and that's all you need to play it with. The tokens are in there, the rule book, the scenario book, it's all in there, and this thing as well actually is basically your kind of rules reference. All easy to play, pack out, just get out there. You can get miniatures for this game as well if you really want to go into it. But this is the Paths Unknown, I think they call this series of games. They've got this Escape from Stalingrad Z. They've got a Nilfhelm, I think it's called, which is like a Viking horror kind of similar thing. You go through a story, go through all these adventures, choose your own adventure in some capacity. There was another one which I think was called maybe Escape from Project Rice or something like that, which looked like my favorite film, kind of horror World War II film, which is Overlord, which is, if you've not seen it, it's a fantastic movie, and it looks just like that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be seeing if they've got copies of that, which I can take a look at. But anyway, I think that's about it. There is a playtest zone, which you definitely go and check out some new people's games. You are going to really help people design their games by going over to the playtest UK area and just having a go at their games. A lot of people will design games, play with their friends, but the best kind of feedback is from blind playtests with people that don't know them, don't have any affiliation with them, and can just say, well, you know, I enjoyed this, but these elements aren't great, or, you know, this works, maybe this doesn't work. It's just really good constructive criticism that they might not get from their friends. Yeah, with that being said, I think that's about it from me. Join us again for our next Wednesday Waffle, which will be me playing a game of Shadows of Brimstone. Next Wednesday, it might be live, it might not be. Tune in at 5. Maybe I'll be here, maybe it'll just be a pre-recorded message. Anyway, I've been your excitable Adam. If you are going to UK Games Expo, let me know in the comments below. And if you see me wearing my bright yellow t-shirt, or Alex wearing his slimy green one, then please feel free to come over and say hi. It'd be absolutely lovely to come chat to you. It's been really lovely talking to people that we've kind of like met at AirCon. So yeah, please come and see us. We don't bite. It'll be lovely to meet some of you guys if you are there. Anyway, until next time, guys, stay safe or die rolling.